Jamiana then.
Yep.
All right, perfect. Let's go.
All right. So you guys already know me, but my name is Gage Caro, and I'm going to be speaking to you today on mental illnesses and why we should aid in destigmatizing them. So just to start off, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my personal experience with mental illness. So I've always had anxiety, always since I was young. When I turned 18, I went to Colorado to live by myself, and it was the best trip of my life until I got there, and then it was the worst trip of my life. I didn't eat. I lost 15 pounds in a week. It was actually really awful. Um, After that, so from 18 on, I've been researching anxiety and other mental illnesses and how to cope with it because I think it was Jeremy said that he didn't like to just pop pills, and I don't like to just pop pills either. So there is you have to work on yourself to get there. So I've been doing that with the research. I've consulted professionals about it, talked to them for many hours, and finally I just accepted that this is something that I have, this is something I'm going to deal with, and it's going to be a part of me, so I might as well accept it. Um, Moving forward, I'm going to explain a little bit about what exactly mental illness is. So, someone with a mental illness is ill, they are not crazy. So, the definition is mental illnesses are health conditions involving changes in emotions, thinking, or behavior, or a combination of these. Mental illnesses can be associated with distress and or problems functioning in social, um, school, or family activities. So any kind of discomfort you have mentally can be attributed to some form of mental illness, whether it's a steady one that you are diagnosed with or just like anxiety that you have at the moment. So they're ill, they're not crazy. Um, there are different types of mental illnesses and they vary vastly from one to the other. Like I said, I have anxiety, which, in my opinion, is the least worrisome out of all of them. So, the World Health Organization has identified at least eight different types of mental health illnesses. Each is an umbrella term. So, there might be one mental illness and then 18 underneath that umbrella that fall under, for example, anxiety also encompasses panic disorders, anxiety disorders, all of those. So I'm just going to run through a list of them real quick: anxiety disorders, depression, bipolar disorders, post traumatic stress disorders, schizophrenia, eating disorders, disruptive behavior and dissocial disorders, and neurodevelopment disorders. And usually, when someone is asked to draw a picture of a mental illness, they draw this picture right here of a cloudy brain. So, a big stigma that surrounds mental illnesses are that mental illnesses are dangerous. So, I think anytime someone thinks of, oh, a mental illness, they automatically go straight to schizophrenia and hearing voices telling you to kill yourself or kill others. And that's not the case. I mean, that is the case for a rare few, but most of them are just something that the individual deals with themselves, and you would never know unless you are that individual. So only 3 to 5% of violent acts can be attributed to individuals living with a serious mental health disorder or mental health illness. The others are just regular, normal people. So the other 97 to 95%, people with mental health issues are 10 times more likely to be victims of violent crimes than the general populations. And some mental illnesses, like I said, do present as violent outbursts, but typically this is associated with long term mental illnesses such as schizophrenia and a lack of medication that comes with it. This isn't just something that you're going to be dealing with all the time. If you know that you have a dangerous mental illness, you take precautions to make sure that that doesn't happen. And when medication is taken correctly, it can get rid of these violent and dangerous symptoms. So another stigma is that we're just seeing, oh, hear about mental illness, but these are real people that are affected by mental illness. So 21% of the US population suffers from mental illness. 30 to 50% of the homeless population suffers. 41% of all veterans suffer from some sort of mental illness, the majority of that being post traumatic stress disorder. And the figures that I've researched show either one in every eight to one in every five US citizens suffering with some form of mental health issues. And of those suffering, only 20% receive help because of the stigmas that surround mental illness. So, mental illnesses are easy to destigmatize. It's an easy thing that we can do to help get rid of, to help a lot of people. The first thing that we can do is talk openly because it kind of seems like a closed door conversation with between just you and whoever, but that's not necessarily the case. I'm sure there are some people who would rather not discuss it, but for the majority, most people are perfectly happy to discuss their mental health issues, and that brings awareness to you that you are in the presence of not only someone with mental illness that you, but also that you actually know probably quite a few people with mental illnesses. Educate yourself, like I've done in this PowerPoint, um, showing you all the different types of mental illnesses and how many of them are actually dangerous and the stigmas that come with them. That'll help destigmatize that way that you know that you're not actively participating in this. And then the last one is to show compassion, just be compassionate towards others, regardless, because, like they say, you never truly know what's going on with someone unless you've walked a mile in their shoes. Um, so, to wrap things up, mental illnesses have a bad reputation, but together we can end the cruel and unfair stigmas which surround them. Help destigmatize mental illness today. And these are my references. Thank you.